All right. Hey everyone. I'm not streaming at my normal time. Just so you guys know, this is like an hour earlier, but I'm not on my usual schedule. So I apologize if this is a little inconvenient for you. But anyway, so if you're new to the stream, welcome. Let me explain to you how this is going to work. So first thing we're going to do, of course, is we're going to talk about the economic news real quick, the events that are planned for the week, and then we're going to get into the charts. Okay. As you guys know, I'm going over the NASDAQ. I'm going over bonds, other, gold, silver, things like that. We can talk about ETFs if you want to talk about those. If you have any questions about cryptocurrencies or anything like that, you can go to my other channel. Okay. And the link is in the description. You can see all that there. Also, remember, I have a free Telegram room now, guys. That's what that QR code. You see that QR code on the screen right there? If you scan that QR code, it takes you to that link that you see on the top of my screen, and that is my Telegram channel. And I just sent out a trade on Link USDT earlier today. The details are in the channel, so I'm not going to go over that trade here. It's actually in my video, which was published earlier, and on my other channel. And you can also go into the Telegram channel and check that out. All right, guys. All right. So anyway, let's get started. So let's see. I don't see any. I'm looking for you guys in my chat. Where are you guys? I know it's a little early, and everyone's going to be like, "Where is this guy?" By the way, I can't do a full stream today, so I'm only going to stream for like 10 or 15 minutes. The reason why I'm showing up is because I said, I don't want to just not show up at all. I'm still not home. I'm still on. I'm remote here. I'm still in Florida, Fort Lauderdale, Miami area, and so I have a busy schedule here. Okay. Anyway, so let's begin. I'm going to just jump right in. We're going to go into the charts. Right. I have the NASDAQ up here, and this is nuts. Right. I mean, look at this. There's a few things on the economic calendar that I'm going to mention this week very quickly. Right. So we have the Clarity Act. I don't even know if that's the reason why. I don't know the exact reason why we had this move today here. But that is supposed to be happening this week. Of course, we have non-farm payrolls on Friday. Those are the major ones. There may be a couple of other things in there, but those are the major ones. And those catalysts can change things. Of course, we see everything reversing hard today, right? So all that selling, all that nonsense since Friday was for nothing. All that overreaction for absolutely nothing. Because if you recognize your levels and you recognize the probabilities, you can prepare for these type of things. Anyway, all right. So guys, whoever's joining me in the chat, do me a favor. Let me know if there are any other economic events that I missed, because I'm just talking about non-farm payrolls and the Clarity Act, and you should double check on the timestamps on those as well. Non-farm payrolls is usually 8:30 a.m. Eastern time on Friday, right? That's a big number, especially since Powell threw in the towel, and he's no longer helping things out anymore. I'm going to put the microphone over here. If you guys can't hear me, let me know. I'm not going to hold this microphone. Maybe I should just clip it. Nah, I don't like the way it looks. I'm just going to put it over here. You guys should hear me okay. So Powell changed his mind. Powell changed his mind on Wednesday. And that kind of threw things off, because if you go back to December, November, and all that, the idea that they were selling was that we were going to an easy monetary policy environment. We're going to print money forever, and we're going to be swimming in cheap money. That is the impression that he gave. That is the impression that many other people that I follow, they were interpreting it the same way. Now he changes his mind. So this is why you can't get married to opinions. And when stuff like this happens, you must adjust. You have to adjust. So now we're not going into such an easy monetary policy environment. Got to keep that in mind. Although I suspect that the administration is still going to try to force that hand. Okay, that's what we're going to do. Powell's out of a job in May. He's going to be part of the He's going to be part of the non-farm payroll statistic, and we're going to have a new guy in there who's likely going to be more Trump friendly. Maybe not best friends with Trump, right? Because they can't have. That's why Hassett is no longer the favored guy. But I would imagine they're going to get a guy in there that, like a stealth yes man. You know what I'm saying? All right. Anyway, so let's get into the charts real quick, because again, I only have a few minutes here. I'm not going to spend the whole day. So guys who show up on my regular 3 p.m. or time slot, I'm doing this early because I have a busy schedule today and I can't do my full stream. That's why I'm doing it at this time. So again, I apologize for the inconvenience, but next week I'll be on my regular schedule and I'll be back in my other location in the miserable cold weather and not in nice sunny Florida. So, all right. So let me see who's watching me over here. Let me just take a look. These numbers are always depressing. Okay, I got 4 guys on YouTube. Say hello, people. Let me know if you can hear me. Or unless you guys are bots, right? If it's just bots watching, give me a robotic hello. I don't know, whatever. It'd be nice to hear from you. Say something. So we're going to start with the NASDAQ. And I mean, pre-market, this thing was just, the structure changed. I mean, check this out, right? The structure changed pre-market, we can see here. And when it started pushing above this level right here, I was taking a look at it at that time, and I was like, this thing looks like a long now, right? So when it comes to smaller time frames, you have to be careful and not let this section affect your orientation. The beginning, like what I like to do is I like to evaluate the market, especially if it's for day trades. I like to evaluate it in steps. So first to have orientation. Hey, hey, how are you? Tom, haven't seen you in a long time. How you, man? How are you? Long time no see. Stop fooling around. I wonder who that is. Stop fooling around. Let me guess. Let me guess who that is. It's Booty Cheeks in disguise. I know your style, man. I can detect you even when you change your name. That's cool, though. It's good to see you. I know you're trying to fool the YouTube algorithm. I understand. It's cool. I'm glad you guys are here. Like I said, I'm streaming earlier than usual. This is not a normal time, and I'm not doing a full stream. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to jump through a couple of charts, and I'm going to have to sign off. I just wanted to leave you guys something so that at least, you knew that I attempted to stream today, but I can't do my normal time. Anyway, so let's talk about this NASDAQ real quick. I'm just going to jump through some levels. And this is a small time frame, right? That's a 5-minute chart. So let's go to the larger time frame because I'm not going to sit here and talk about day trades. But the point is this thing changed its character early on today, and this is what it looks like on the bigger picture, right? So today, obviously, we're going to close strong. And what do we have here? A higher low. So with a close like this today, this market is poised to work its way higher this week, unless, of course, we have some other unexpected piece of information that comes out. But keep in mind, we have our next resistance right up here on the NASDAQ. So what number is that? I can't see my numbers. Hold on. That is the 26,294, 26,300 level, right? So what that becomes is a profit objective, right? If you're in the NASDAQ or if you're in stocks in general, watch that area, okay? This is your profit objective, meaning if it goes beyond that, great, but that's a sticky resistance area and good place to take profits or reduce risk. You've been, yes, been Amin. Nice, yeah, Dom, yeah, long time no see. Dom, I have another channel too. If you want to see daily updates and stuff, check the link in the description. I have Mark's Market, which is another channel. You can also go to my free Telegram. See that? I have my QR code because I'm high tech now. If you scan that QR code, it will take you to my free Telegram. And I have a link trade that I sent out earlier today. So check that out if you're interested. All right, so let's move along here. Okay, so we got NASDAQ, right? I like to take a look at the bond market. Always take a look at the bond market, guys, right? Because when things change, you're going to see the biggest effect here. This, like I tell people, you want to know the future, pay attention to interest rates and pay attention to lawmakers, and you have a better sense of the future, not charts. So this is the 10-year note futures, and the price here of this thing, it's going lower, which is actually not in line with what should be happening. This is off. This should not be doing this, right? So if the 10-year note futures are going lower, that means yields are going higher. US 10Y. Okay, let's take a look. This is not what the market wants in general. Hey, Kai, how are you? Good to see you, man. I'm streaming a little early. I'm still in Florida. As you can see, I'm not in my usual background. And, but next week I'll be on my regular schedule. All right. So I wanted to, instead of skipping the stream altogether, I just wanted to say hello to you guys real quick so you guys know what I'm up to and I'm not, abandoning you guys. All right. So I'm going to run through a couple of charts real quick and I'm just going to keep this maybe a few more minutes and I'm going to wrap it up. All right, guys. But I really appreciate you stopping by and everyone else that usually shows up at 3, at least they'll have something they could watch. It just won't be in real time. So anyway, some wild stuff going on. right? So anyway, this bond market situation, this is not what the market wants to see. Yields rising, and we have a NASDAQ, going nuts and everything going up. Very strange, right? So this is not generally good. If this continues higher, uh, you know, that's going to put friction on the market. Here's the weekly time frame of the yield. This is the bond yield, and although this is not doing anything spectacular yet, it's still testing these resistances, and there's a bullish structure, higher lows. See that? It's breaking out of that consolidation, this little mini consolidation. Let me draw a little rectangle there for you guys, right? It's breaking out of this, and that's not generally good, okay? So it's just something to keep in mind. Oh, okay. Oh, really? Yeah. Okay. Is that why what caused all that trouble? Warsh is, I guess, the Fed chair that they're expecting to whatever. That's the guy. So that's news. I've been really out of it because where I'm at, I've been out of it as far as like paying attention to economic news and stuff like that. But and I've been really focused in on actually enhancing the videos in terms of my production time and all that. So that's why my videos may seem a little strange on the other channel because I'm going through some adjustments right now. But once I get back into my regular location, they'll be smoother. But any feedback that you guys have on my other videos, I'd love to hear it. You know, I hope you are out of it. Yeah. Yeah. Well, this is not a vacation. I don't know where you get that word from, Kai. This is not a vacation. This is all mostly work. I mean, I get to go out. I'm with my team here, and we get to go out and do some things, but this is most of the time we're working. I mean, these guys work hard, man. I mean, it's nice to be around guys that work really hard. So anyway, in fact, look, I'm going to show you something real quick. See that guy? That's one of the guys. He's working right now as I stream. So anyway, yeah. So it was good. It was good. Very productive. So anyway, all right. So that's the bond market. Keep an eye on this because this thing is going. This is trouble right here. All right. This is trouble. So today everyone's excited. Oh, we're all rallying, whatever. But be careful with this because this is not exactly in line with what's going on. Okay. So yeah. What was that? Yeah. That's exactly right, Kai. Grind set. That's what it is. And man, I learned a few things. Okay, these guys I have to say, they work harder than me. So, but thanks to them, we have all the things that we have. The Telegram channel, the other channel. I could never do those things on my own, right? As you guys know me a long time. I could never. These are the guys that are responsible for all this progress that you're seeing. So, all right. Anyway, let's move along. All right. So that's the bond market. Let's take a quick look at the. I'm going to do S&P real quick. All right, S&P. Let me see here, S&P. No, actually, you know what? We won't do S&P. Let's do gold, right? Gold and silver, because there was a little hammering there, right? Let's take a look at gold because this is interesting. Remember when we talked about this a week ago? This was like on fire, and we're like, man, And what do I tell you guys? You guys know what I tell you. When it looks like an altcoin, you guys go back and watch the stream. Don't buy the highs. Don't buy the highs, right? So those people that get carried away, they can't control themselves. This is the risk you take. I'm going to make this nice and big. This is the risk you take. I mean, this thing got hammered. Silver went from like 117 to like 85. I haven't checked it since then, but wow. Talk about getting hammered. So, that's the risk you take when you're buying into highs. And like I was saying to people, excuse me, if you do decide to buy a situation that's going nuts, when this was a green candle, because at one point it was, right? When this was a green candle and you decide to buy into that, if that thing turns the wrong way on you or whatever, or you have your stop, respect the stop or get the F out if this thing turns the wrong way at such levels, because you have to mitigate that risk. The risk is enormous in those situations. Now, gold and silver are in much more attractive places. This is a much better place to be considering gold, although this momentum is not exactly reversed. Let's take a look at a daily time frame real quick. I mean, look at this, right? You have to let this thing stabilize. It's attempting to, and current level is a good place to start watching, which is what? 4404. So you could say that around 44 even. What is that? 45 and a half, something like that, or 45 even. I mean, what whole numbers do you have in there? 44.02. So but I'd say between 4,400 and 4,500. Look for stability if you play gold. However you play that, you want to see some stability develop here. Maybe next couple of days, maybe you get some green candles inside bars, failed low over a few candles. You know what I'm talking about, right? That kind of thing. Look, here's an example of stability back here. Let me just highlight this for you. Something like this. This may take a week or two to play out. So you have to be patient with that, right? That's stability, because the trend hasn't changed yet and fundamentals haven't changed that much. It was just gold was overbought. It got ahead of itself. So let's just do silver real quick. Okay, XAG, USD. Okay, I mean, look at this. Silver is just not wild, man. Silver is just out of control. What's the low on silver? Is that? Hold on a second. Am I seeing this correctly? The low is 71.31. This thing went from 117 to 71 in 2 days. Don't buy the highs. Okay? That's why I tell you guys, don't buy the highs. Or if you do, be very careful. Be prepared to get out right away. Silver is now in a support area. Look at the consolidation. So if you're interested in gold and silver, now is the time to be watching. Now for longs. Now watching, not taking trades, watching, waiting for stability, because this momentum, this is very sharp momentum, and this can continue lower than people would like, right? So I'm not bearish on these markets. I'm just saying this is a pretty healthy pullback, let's just say. And this could be the beginning of a change in trend, but it's too early to tell. It could be, because, man, it really cleared a lot of structure. And when you get large, sharp moves like this, this is typically the initial move of a new trend. It could be. So that's why you don't want to go in with a closed mind and say, oh, yeah, change of trend. No, it could be. So if you're going to short something like this, which is aggressive, especially right now, you don't want to do it. You at least want to wait for a retracement, at least a 50% retracement, something like that, if you're going to do that. Okay? So my silver miner, wow. Yeah. Kai, it never hurts to take profits. I always tell you guys that, but hey, it's never perfect, and you weren't expecting, this was a very unusual move. Even as I was saying, don't buy the top, the risk is high. There's no way to know how sharp the move is going to be, right? There's no way to know. Usually pullbacks in these markets have been very, very shallow, very tight. So, and this comes out of nowhere. So there's no way to know. So good. At least, you don't blame yourself for something like that. All right. So I'm just going to move on to one more, and then I'm going to wrap this up here. Let's see what I'll do. We could do oil if you want, or if you guys have a request, let me know. I'll do one request. Let me see what you guys got. Any requests? I was expecting, right, exactly. And a consolidation, Kai, is within reason, because that's what we've been getting for weeks and months. So this type of stuff, again, it comes out of nowhere. That's why it's just always generally a good idea to take something off the table. That's what I always tell people. When things are going ridiculous, like in ridiculous mode, and you're in profit, it never hurts to take a little off the table, because you never know. You just never know when something like this is around the corner, right? And there's no way to know. So the only way you could protect yourself against something like that is when things look amazing, take a little money off the table. It's a mindset more than anything else. It's not even a technical thing. So, okay. OMC. All right, Kai, let's do it. OMC. Let's see. What's OMC? What is this? Omnicom. Okay. You're thinking short. All right. Let's go to the weekly time frame. Real quick. All right. I like it right from the start. I mean, I haven't even looked at any levels yet, but look, you have this bearish structure behind you. Nice. That's nice. You have resistance level right there. So, it rejected that resistance. Look at that. You have a number of things going on here, but the more recent data shows looks to me a reliable resistance. That level was touched numerous times or rejected numerous times. So, I mean, shorting now, this thing is on its way, so you're not getting the best price, obviously. If this looks like some type of flag formation you have here, right? This looks like a flag. Looks like you have a flag formation. So if it clears that support, you probably have some more room to play with there going lower. Otherwise, any retest of that resistance would probably be a good idea for for a new position or add to it or whatever. Oh, options. Okay. Okay. Cool. Cool. Is this was there any unusual options activity on this stock? Because usually good with that. Any unusual? Is this one of those type of stocks, or is just another type of play? But I like it. Could it be wave two? Let's see. Let's go to the weekly. Is this? No, I am on the weekly. Let's see. One, two. Yes, it could be. Yes, it could be, Kai. If this is wave one, if this entire structure is wave one, and I can count 5 waves in there, it's an impulse wave. One, two, three, four, 5. I can count. That looks like an impulse, a bearish impulse wave. 2 is a consolidation, right? And 2 can retrace 100% of wave 1, but in this case, I mean, this thing can't even reach the 382. I mean, 382 is usually a good reference point. It can't even get there. So that could be potentially, you could be potentially entering wave 3 here. If that thing breaks that support, that could be a wave 3, a broader wave 3. So yeah, Kai, that makes sense. Okay. No, Suzanne. No. You know what, Suzanne? I have another channel for that. Good to see all my old timers are coming back. Wow, nice. Suzanne, how are you? If you go to Mark's Market, there's a link in the description, Suzanne. Or if you go to my Telegram channel that I have now, see that QR code on my screen? If you click on that code, that'll take you to my Telegram channel, and I have all the updates for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the link trade that I just put out earlier today. All that is in there, all in detail. So I can't go over that over the stream right now, but that's what I would recommend you go. Check that out. Or you could watch my video updates. Every day I put those out. Every day, okay, where I cover Bitcoin and Ethereum. So you could go to my Mark's Market channel right now, and I made the video earlier, so you can actually watch that. It's like a 14-minute video, okay? Cool. Yeah, so you'll see the details there. All right, so anyway, all right, guys, so any quick questions? Because I got to wrap this up now. Any quick questions? I've been going 20 minutes. All across the board, names. Yeah, it's amazing. Oh yeah, wow. Well, there's a lot of interesting things going on. That's Broadcom, isn't it? AV Go. That's Broadcom. Yeah, interesting. And meanwhile, the NASDAQ is on its way back up. I mean, that NASDAQ is nonsensical, but it's pretty far off its highs. I mean, what, 26,300 was the high or something like that? And now we're fooling around at 25. Where are we at now? We're at, on the NASDAQ, 25.9. So it was much lower. It was what, 25.6? That was a decent pullback on the NASDAQ for a couple of days. All right, guys, so any questions real quick? That's all I can do today. All right, so I just wanted to touch base with you guys real quick. Next week, I'll be on my regular schedule, and you guys can expect the regular time and all that other stuff. I have my green screen behind me, so you won't see kind of weird background and all that. All right, you guys. So, hey, thanks, guys, for stopping by and saying hello. Make sure you check out the Telegram channel. Make sure you check out the Mark's Market. And if you haven't subscribed to it, do me a favor, subscribe to it. It really helps me out. All right, guys. So, hey, enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your evening, wherever you are in the world. And thank you so much for watching.